I will be talking to you about the taste of ugali. The biggest mistake that people make when approaching ugali, especially if you're a first time consumer of ugali or even a seasoned consumer of ugali, is expecting taste. So, rule number one of ugali is reduce your expectations to zero. It's literally just water and flour. Everything that you expect, peleka kwa pilau ama chapati, not here. My name is Muivanda and I am a self-proclaimed 27 years of experience, research oriented Ugali connoisseur. I grew up with my father who grew up eating ugali and has been eating ugali. We have been eating ugali for generations in my family, right? And growing up, I used to look at this guy like, this guy never gets tired of his ugali. Whether it's Christmas or New Year's or Moi Day or Sijui, whatever day, Valentine's Day, birthdays, graduations, this guy has to get his ugali. And I was like, there's no way. You can't love ugali this much. It's just a lump of starch. If you've ever had ugali, you know what I'm talking about. It's a lump of nothingness that just fills your stomach. I have traveled through all the ugali eating countries of Africa to bring you this report. But before I get to the rankings, these are the ugali eating nations of Africa. There's Kenyan ugali, Ugandan posho, Zambia ubwali, Zimbabwe sadza, South African pap, Rwanda ubugali, Malawi nsima, Mozambique nshima, Eswatini lipalishi, Lesotho papa, Namibia pap, and Congo DRC corn. They call it fufu, but still, it's corn fufu. So I have gone through all these countries except the ones in orange. So this is a very research-oriented description of the taste of ugali. Ugali generally is bland and dense. And that's all you need to know when you're approaching ugali. So don't expect any, I don't know, celebrations on your taste buds, fireworks, and sijui nini. Just come prepared for nothing. So we'll start strong with Kenya. There's a heavy bias in Kenya because I'm Kenyan. So it's definitely a 10 over 10. My mom's ugali, my aunt's ugali, my grandmother's ugali, 10 over 10. Next up, we have Ugandan posho. I had Ugandan posho in Kampala. And when I ordered for it, they brought me a plate of posho with a bowl with a sea of chicken soup. Sitting in the middle of it was a single chicken breast, like Migingo Island. And on the side, there wasn't any greens. It was just a piece of matoke. And I'm thinking, how would you serve ugali with a side of banana? That's traumatic. They could have gotten a 10 over 10, but I felt like that was a bit disrespectful, man. How can you serve ugali with matoke? I was like, nah, bro, you guys, too much. But the ugali is also good. Dense, solid, hard, like Kenyan ugali, so they get a 9.5. Next up, yeah, we're going down south. And so the lower you go in Africa, especially south of the Sahara, the softer the ugali becomes. So the ugali down south, it doesn't sit on the plate, it spreads. And that's weird. When the ugali doesn't sit, when it just spreads on your plate, it looks a bit weird. So Zambians ubwali, I had it. Any Zambians in the house? Let's go, let's go, let's go. So yeah, they got a 6 out of 10, and this is why. The problem with Zambians ubwali, these guys, I think it was my experience, but it was grinded while I was watching. It wasn't ground in a factory. And the problem with that is that the grains are very rough. You can feel it in the ugali. Like you can feel the grains. It's very rough and it's soft. So I was like, it's very, you don't know what you're eating. But that was my experience. Maybe I should have had better ugali experience, right? Okay. And I had it with sardines and beans. A literal survival meal. Because when I had it, our car had broken down in the middle of nowhere in rural Zambia, and Next up, we have Zim Sadza. So the Sadza in Zim, I had it in Bulawayo, and it was the soggiest ugali I ever had in my life. And it was cooked by my friend Chioniso, and she was cooking while I was watching. The problem is there was too much water and too little corn flour. So I'm watching her prepare it, and she's not adding corn flour. She's just stirring. There's no corn going in, and I'm like, you need to add more. She's like, no, 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 it's perfect. She's shortening it like this. It's like porridge. I'm like, no, that's not ugali. That's porridge. She's like, no, this is sadza. So we had, and she poured it on my plate, and it spread around. And I was like, how are we going to? Do I need a spoon? She was like, don't be disrespectful. You don't need a spoon for ugali anywhere in Africa. So the sadza was very soft and very soggy, but to my surprise, it was cooked. It wasn't undercooked. When you see soft ugali, you always think undercooked, undercooked. But actually, it was good. It was actually good. Honestly, that's why they got a generous 7. And then South African pap. By the way, South Africans love their pap. Any South Africans in the house? Okay, they got a 5. They got a 5. And let me tell you, I was so surprised when I went to South Africa and these guys serve pap at KFC. I was like, you guys, Ati, you get streetwise with ugali. You guys, anyway, they got a 5 because I had pap in South Africa with the braai. So it's a Saturday. They have the braai, the barbecue, and someone cooked ugali. They South African pap, and I was like, it's I'm a bit disappointed because I had high expectations for South Africa. Honestly, I had high expectations for South Africa, but I was like, okay, 5. And that's generous. Coming back up to Eastern Africa, Rwanda. Any Rwandans in the house? Rwandans in the house? Okay. So let me tell you what the Rwandans do to their ugali. Brace yourself. They add salt. Salt. These guys season their ugali. What? I was so surprised because, like I said, the taste of ugali is what? Nothing. It's supposed to be bland. You guys are doing too much. And then I had Tanzanian ugali. Oh, Rwandan ugali got 3 out of 10 because of adding salt. Very disrespectful. Tanzanian ugali, they got a 3.5 because the ugali was undercooked. And I had it in Mwanza with sardines from Lake Victoria. And so the problem with Tanzanian ugali, you pinch it and you find corn flour. That's how you know the ugali is undercooked. When you find corn flour in the ugali, immediately that's below 5. That's definitely a 3.5 or worse. And that's Tanzania. So yeah, any Tanzanians in the house? Majirani wapo? Okay, no. Okay, to Malawi in Shima. Malawi in Shima was really good, served with a plate of grasshoppers, which tasted like prawns. It's really dense. The only problem with their ugali is that they add oil. Yeah, so it doesn't stick on the cooking pan. And I was like, no, it has to stick on the cooking pan. You know, it has to stick on the cooking pan. Yeah, where's the crust? We gotta eat the crust, right? Yeah, and next is Mozambican Shima. Mozambique came prepared. These guys came prepared. And I had it for brunch. That's how crazy it is. Having ugali for brunch. Ooh, that was an interesting experience. And definitely a 10 out of 10. Eswatini, Lipalishi, 10 out of 10. You guys, South Africans, Eswatini is beating you in ugali. Eswatini is beating you in ugali. What? Yes. No. So Eswatini is making really good ugali. And I think my ugali experience in Eswatini was even better because I had it with beans. I know Kenyans, when you hear ugali with beans, you're like, hey man, that's a struggle meal for real. Because ugali with beans. But I had ugali with beans in Eswatini, and I was like, you know what? You guys are not you guys are not using your free will to the fullest with ugali. You could literally have it with anything. You could literally be out here eating baked beans in Ugali in the morning, full English breakfast. Anyway, so generally that is the taste of Ugali. And so next time you're eating Ugali, go in with a taste bud that is ready to not feel anything and just enjoy the experience. And I've heard guys here talking about Ugali fries. Please, please stop. Stop.